There we go. Okay. You got anything to say about film or the film industry? What do you think? What do you think about the state of the independent British film industry? Uh-huh. We're not a traditional production company well, I don't really know what is a traditional production company, but we haven't gone through the route most people have, and yet we've managed to have quite considerable success, critical success. You know, I think in the last year we've won over 50 awards. I think we're now up to about 55 awards. Financially, we're not a huge business, but you know, that's okay. So yeah, I guess when you wander around our office, it's kind of a bit like us. It's like, I don't know what a real production company is supposed to look like, but that's what Grain looks like. Everyone who works there is brilliant. We'll get on with our work, and like, I have no real doubts in how good Grain Media is as a production company. Like, I think Grain Media is one of the best production companies operating in the UK and possibly the world today. Like, our output is incredible. So anyway, I started working with this other production company. I worked for them for about a year or so, and Orlando, my current business partner, was also doing a project for them. Because we'd both been making stuff anyway, I'd been making skate films and he'd been making snowboard films, and I'd been working for the Extreme Channel anyway with my previous employer. We decided that we kind of wanted to do similar things, and so we pitched for a TV show. That was for the Extreme Sports Channel, and we made their flagship show, Gen X, which was a 14-part TV series broadcast across 50-odd countries. You know, we absolutely shit ourselves. We had no idea what we were doing. We just went and did it. We probably did it completely wrong, and you know, yeah, we'd go to all these meetings where people would say these things, and I had no idea what they meant, and I'd sort of make a note of it and go back home and go, oh right, PPM, that means pre-production meeting, okay, fine. And then, you know, we just sort of wing it, and then we did it. We did the show, we travelled the world with that show, and that's sort of where Grain started. Orlando very much wanted to lead us down the documentary route, and I wanted to do kind of scripted comedy stuff. And you know, because it was just two filmmakers, we just kind of did what we wanted to. We got the commissions where we could, and we just slowly kind of grew the company a little bit, and the one thing that was consistent was we kept doing good work. Nobody knows what makes a good film. If they did, there would be no bad films. So it's really difficult. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, making a feature film. And there's no comparison. Like, it's insanely difficult. And so any film that you watch, you know, it's kind of heartbreaking once you've been through it, because I do it all the time. Like, I watch a movie and at the end of it I go, yeah, it's all right, what's for dinner? And you know, it's like, oh my God, somebody or a lot of people have worked so hard for me to then go, yeah, it's all right, you know, or no, I didn't really like it, or even worse, turn it off. Although I've never done that. I think I did it once. In Casper the Friendly Ghost I walked out of. That's the only movie, and I feel like I should go back and rewatch it. Virunga has been far and away our biggest success as a production company, and has very much put us on the map. Originally, Orlando wanted to make a positive film from an unlikely place. And so he went out to Virunga National Park, and as a sort of talisman for bad luck that he is, everything kind of kicked off around him, and a war started, and then they started getting wind of this oil company that was exploring for oil out there. And Orlando knew that he was sitting on a really good story. And so the film shifted quite quickly from a positive story from an unlikely place to being an investigation into the workings of this oil company. Everything had to be meticulously backed up and verified, because if anything that we said or alleged within the film was incorrect, it would be me and Orlando responsible. And at the time, Lucy was pregnant, we just bought a house, like, I had everything on the line. And, you know, Orlando said, do you want to carry on doing this? This is pretty serious. Like, we're doing some pretty serious stuff. And I knew that if we were wrong in the investigation or dealt with it incorrectly, we could lose everything. I could lose my house and I could lose my business just as I'm having a baby. And it was really, really stressful and really scary. But at the end of the day, I believed in the story and I believed in the importance of the film, and I believed in Orlando's ability as a director to accurately and sensibly tell that story. And obviously I had to be quite on top of what we were doing legally. And in the end, we couldn't have asked for more. Like, the film has made a real change for the better out in the park. And so was definitely worth taking that risk as a production company. In a previous life, I was an actor. I loved acting. And I wanted to return to, I guess, scripted work and working with actors. And so I wrote this weird little short film called Super Bob. I hadn't thought originally that it could be a feature film. I just made it as a short, but someone else said to me, this could be a feature. And then we pitched it as a feature, and then we got commissioned to write it. It just went down a storm. I was blown away by the response. Like, people went mad for it. And we had Ricky Gervais in the crowd, and he sent us the most amazing email afterwards calling it a modern romantic classic. And I feel that if you get to direct a feature film and it's not the culmination of a lifelong ambition, then you shouldn't be doing it. Directing is the very, very best and the very, very, very worst job at exactly the same time, all the time. But it was brilliant. I loved it. I had a brilliant crew and a brilliant cast, and it was just an amazing experience. And now the film will be coming out in October. Not too sure exactly when, but it looks like mid to late October. That's my first ever film, which is called Ahi, which you can see is a VHS, and this is my handwritten letter to a guy in a skate shop saying, I want him to stock my video, but I also want to make their next skate film. That was kind of, and then he posted it back to me a couple of months ago, found me and posted it back, and I guess that was sort of the start, in a way. So yeah, just like VHS skate films. It cost me almost nothing to make that film. I mean, I had to get to Chile, but I was going to go there anyway. But the kid who made that skate film, I'm still the same. It's just the same. There is no difference between what I do now and what I did then. It's just the stakes are slightly higher.